In this video, I'm going to discuss about interchangeability and selective assembly. So this is a continuation of previous video, limits, tolerance and fits. So ഈ ഒരു വീഡിയോയിൽ ഡിസ്കസ് ചെയ്യാൻ പോകുന്നത് ഇന്റർചേഞ്ചബിലിറ്റിയും അതേപോലെ തന്നെ സെലക്റ്റീവ് അസംബ്ലി ദെൻ ഹോൾ ബേസ് ആൻഡ് ഷാഫ്റ്റ് ബേസ് സിസ്റ്റം. ഫസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് ഓൾ, interchangeability. An interchangeable part is one which can be suited for similar part manufactured to the same drawing. See, currently we are following a interchangeable manufacturing system. So what do you mean by interchangeable manufacturing system? A manufacturing system that permit deviations from the basic size is known as interchangeable manufacturing system. In the case of mass production, interchangeable manufacturing system that play a great role. Otherwise, the cost of production will be very high if manufacturing a part very close to basic size. So interchangeable manufacturing system that will always permit deviations from the basic size. See, in the case of mass production, manufacturing a large number of parts, it is not economical to produce both the mating parts by the same operator. So ഒരു മാസ് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ്റെ കേസിൽ മേറ്റിംഗ് പാർട്ടിൻ്റെ രണ്ട് പാർട്ടുകളും സെയിം ഓപ്പറേറ്റർ മെഷീൻ ചെയ്യാവുന്നത് ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് നോട്ട് എക്കോണമിക്കൽ ആൻഡ് ദ കോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് പ്രൊഡക്ഷൻ വിൽ ബി ഇൻക്രീസിങ്. So an interchangeable system, components are manufactured in one or more batches by different person on different machines at different location and are assembled at one place. So interchangeable manufacturing system components manufacture ചെയ്യുന്നത് different locations ആണ് and that may be different person or a different machine and assembled in one place. See, currently in all automobile industries are working in interchangeable manufacturing system. The parts of automobile are manufactured by different automotive industry. For example, Bosch, that is an automotive industry, NSK steering system, that is a automotive industry. And all these are parts are assembled in one place. This should be achieved only through interchangeable manufacturing system. Manufacture of parts under such condition is called interchangeable manufacture. Interchangeability means any one component selected at a random should assemble with any other arbitrarily chosen mating component. So എന്താണ് interchangeability? See, interchangeability means any one component that is randomly selected should be assembled to any other component that is randomly selected from for a particular mating assembly. So that is known as interchangeability. So that's the concept of interchangeability and interchangeable manufacturing system. But interchangeability വേറെ എക്സാമ്പിളുകളാണ് ഡെയിലി ലൈഫിലെ എക്സാമ്പിൾസ് ആണ് ബൾബിൻ്റെ സോക്കറ്റുകൾ, പ്ലഗുകൾ. സോ ദാറ്റ് can be used for any component, any bulb or any plug system, etc. So that is known as interchangeability or interchangeable manufacturing system. So advantage of interchangeability. The assembly of mating part is easier since any component picked up from its lot will assemble with any other mating parts from another lot without additional fitting and machining. So in an interchangeable manufacturing system, the assembly of parts are easier. We can pick any one component randomly from a lot and that can be assembled to any other component that can be selected from another lot for a particular mating assembly. It enhances the production rate. The production rate can be enhanced, production cost will be reduced, and it will reduce defective parts. It brings down the assembly cost drastically. Repairing of existing machines or product is simplified because component parts can be easily replaced. Replacement of worn out part easily. Without interchangeability, mass production is not possible. So these are the advantages of an interchangeable system or interchangeability. Okay. And next concept is selective assembly. നെറ്റ് ബോൾട്ട് അതൊരു ഇന്റർചേഞ്ചബിലിറ്റി ആണ്. കാരണം ഏത് നെറ്റ് എടുത്താലും അത് ഏത് ബോൾട്ടിലും എന്താവും, ഫിറ്റ് ആവും. സോ നെറ്റ് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് വേറൊരു മെഷീൻസിൽ വേറൊരു പേഴ്സൺ മാനുഫാക്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നതായിരിക്കും. ബോൾട്ട് എന്ന് പറയുന്നത് അതർ മെഷീൻസിൽ അതർ പേഴ്സൺ മാനുഫാക്ചർ ചെയ്യുന്നതായിരിക്കും. പക്ഷേ ഒരു ലോട്ടിൽ നിന്ന് ഏത് നെറ്റ് എടുത്താലും അത് ഏത് ബോൾട്ടുമായിട്ട് സ്യൂട്ട് ആവും. ദാറ്റ്സ് എക്സാമ്പിൾ ഫോർ ഇന്റർചേഞ്ചബിലിറ്റി. So next one is selective assembly. In selective assembly, the parts produced are classified into groups according to their size or dimension by automatic gauging. So that is the first step in a selective assembly. So in selective assembly, initially the parts produced are classified into groups according to their size and dimension by automatic gauging process. See, both the mating parts are segregated according to their size and matched with the group of mating parts are assembled. So in an interchangeable selective assembly, in the case of selective assembly, part manufactured are grouped based upon their size or dimension, and mating parts also grouped according to their size and dimension. So what's the main importance of selective assembly is? It will reduce the elimination of defective parts. Assembly costs are reduced as the parts are produced with wider tolerance. For example, if a part at its lower limit is assembled with mating part at a high limit, the fit so obtained may not fully satisfy the functional requirement of the assembly. For selective assembly, components are measured and sorted into group by dimension prior to the assembly process. This is done for both mating parts. That before the assembly process, the components, a mating part have a female part and a male part. So that is the components. So components that are grouped based upon the size and dimensions. For an example, consider bearing assembly. Hole is 25 plus 0.02 minus 0.02, shaft 25 minus 0.14 minus 0.10. Clearance should be 0.14 mm. Randomly, we take 25 minus 0.02, that is the upper limit, and 25 minus 0.10. So this will be hole and shaft. Clearance will be 0.08. So we require the clearance of 0.14. So these both shaft are within the limit, but the clearance 0.14 is not achieved. So all and shaft bearing respectively, which give 0.14 mm clearance, are, so the hole and shaft are sorted and grouped into dimension. So first group will be like this, second group will be like this, and third group will be like this. So 24.97 and 24.83, 25.0 and 25.4.86, 25.02 and 24.88. So all these groups give clearance of 0.14. For another example, pin and hole with sliding fit. Hole with 20, lower limit minus 0.0, upper limit plus 0.01. Pin with 20, lower limit minus 0.01, upper limit plus 0.0. If pin coming with oversize 20.003 need not be scrapped. See, actually the pin coming with oversize 20.003, that is out of the limit, but it will not be scrapped. That can be mated with the holes of 20.013. So the defective piece will be reduced. So that's the concept of selective assembly. So the main objective of selective assembly is reducing the defective piece. Okay, so in the case of selective assembly, initially the parts are grouped based upon the classified and grouped based upon the size and dimension. Okay. So next one is hole based system and shaft based system. So ഇത് ചോദിച്ചതാണ് ജൂൺ 2024 5 മാർക്കിന്റെ പാർട്ട് ബിയിൽ ചോദിച്ചതാണ് ഡിസ്റ്റിംഗ്വിഷ് ബിറ്റ്വീൻ എ ഹോൾ ബേസ് സിസ്റ്റം ആൻഡ് എ ഷാഫ്റ്റ് ബേസ് സിസ്റ്റം. ഹോൾ ബേസ് സിസ്റ്റം. Hole based system is most commonly used system because it is more easier and convenient to make of shaft of varying size than hole of varying size. Commonly യൂസ് ചെയ്യുന്ന മാനുഫാക്ചറിങ് സിസ്റ്റം ആണ് ഹോൾ ബേസ് സിസ്റ്റം. കാരണം എന്താണെന്ന് വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ഷാഫ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് വേരിയിങ് സൈസ് ക്യാൻ ബി മാനുഫാക്ചർഡ് ഈസിലി വെൻ കമ്പയറിംഗ് ടു ഹോൾ ഓഫ് വേരിയിങ് സൈസ്. In this system, hole size is kept constant. In hole based system, fundamental deviation of hole is kept as 0. So fundamental deviation of hole is kept as 0 means lower limit of hole that will be equal to basic size. So lower deviation of hole is 0. Minimum limit of hole is equal to basic size. Then different fits, that means clearance, transition or interference, are obtained by varying the shaft size. So hole based system ഹോളിന്റെ സൈസ് കോൺസ്റ്റന്റ് ആയിരിക്കും. Different fits can be obtained by changing the shaft size. Okay, fundamental deviation of hole is 0, that is lower deviation of hole is 0, that means minimum limit of hole is equal to basic size. For an example, if the basic size is equal to 50 mm, so hole will be 50 mm because in the case of hole based system the basic lower limit of hole is equal to basic size. Okay, so hole size will be 50 mm, that will be fixed. Then shaft size, so if we require to obtain clearance fit, interference fit and transition fit, the shaft size will be vary. So shaft size 49.90 mm, that will produce a clearance fit. A shaft size 50.05 mm, that will produce interference fit, and a shaft size 50 mm, that will produce a transition fit. So that's the concept of hole based system. So currently all manufacturing system following hole based system because we can easily manufacture a shaft of varying size when comparing to hole. So what's the main point regarding a hole based system is, in the case of hole based system, fundamental deviation of hole is 0. That means lower deviation of hole is 0, lower limit of hole is equal to basic size. Then shaft based system. In the case of shaft based system, the shaft size is kept constant. Fundamental deviation of shaft is kept 0. Upper deviation of shaft is 0. Then the maximum limit of shaft will be equal to basic size. Different fits are obtained by varying the hole size. For example, if basic size is equal to 50 mm, shaft 50 mm, then hole 50.10 mm clearance fit, hole 50.00 mm transition fit, hole 49.95 mm interference fit. So hole size will be varying and the fit will be producing. So in the case of shaft based system, shaft size will be remains constant and varying the hole size, the required fit will be produced. So we have clearance fit, transition fit and interference fit. So this is the difference between hole based system and shaft based system. So in this video I have discussed about interchangeability and selective assembly and hole based system and shaft based system. Okay.